It is a known fact that across many African countries, election brohaha and the accompanying political uncertainties impact certain aspects of the economy. Nigeria, nonetheless, cannot be ruled out of the equation, as precedence has shown. It is another day on Let's Talk, and the flashlight is on surviving in today's Nigeria economically. Hello and welcome. My name is Oluja Kemosapo, and my guest is Dr. Mohammad Dabiri, lead partner, Varsity Capital. But before we delve into the program, as usual, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so yet, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Until then, please enjoy the show. Thank you so much, Dr. Dabiri, for coming on the show. It's nice having you.
Thank you, Udoka. It's nice being on the program. Thank you for bringing me over.
You're welcome, sir. So, what is the economic outlook of Nigeria?
Once again, thank you for bringing me to the program. The economic outlook of Nigeria, as described by IMF globally, is that it is gloomy and uncertain. And although they've highlighted some of the reasons why the economy globally is gloomy, Nigeria's situation seems to be a bit more gloomier than all the others. And why do I say this? Some of the parameters that the IMF actually relayed as the reasons for the uncertainty and gloomy are that there's going to be an increase in those gloomy parameters for so long. And this is due to the COVID-19 lockdown that has happened, and also the Russian war that is currently taking place. And now we have another parameter, and that's the issue of Pakistan, the natural disaster happening there. And all this put together actually going to result in sharp tightening or in global financial conditions. There will be loads of inflation all over the world. For example, currently in the world, the global inflation rate is 7.5%. Nigeria on its own, the inflation rate in Nigeria right now is 19.64%, which is quite high as a country. So it's actually going to hit us very much. It's going to be around for a while because it's going to take a while before the global situation with regards to the economy actually changes. All this put together puts us in a very tight condition. So the CBN needs to actually make a lot of decisions in terms of trying to ease the economy for Nigeria.
Okay. Now, the International Monetary Fund, like I mentioned earlier, and you just pointed out also, projected that Nigeria's economy would grow by 3.4% in 2023 because of political activities. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that, but it actually goes beyond just politics. There is also the insecurity, the war in Nigeria, which is also affecting productions in Nigeria, which will also have a dovetail effect on the GDP of Nigeria. So I do agree with that analysis. And the question is that as a country that is faced with all these challenges, what are we doing? Politics is another thing. Why is that going to happen? Because there's going to be a lot of exchange taking place in terms of foreign exchange in order to pay most of the for the actually people competing for the elections to actually pay for the voters to vote for them. There's going to be a lot of money that is going to go towards the election that are meant for projects development in the country. This is going to actually lead to a decline in the GDP of Nigeria during this political session or era in Nigeria. So yes, I agree with that particular analysis. Secondly, as well, if we look at the GDP of most other countries, Africa itself, the GDP is going to drop. Globally, the GDP is going to drop all over the world. In the United States, we have 5.7 in 2021, which is going to drop to 1%. China, its own GDP is going to drop from 8.1 to 4.6. Euro is from 5.4 to 1.2, India 8.7 to 6.1, Sub-Saharan Africa 4.6 to 4.0. The question is that most of these countries are going to put in shock absorbers to ensure that their economy is not really too affected by these situations. The problem is that Nigeria will be busy with politics during that period, and that will have an adverse effect on us trying to ease the situation in our economy during those periods.
Okay, so how now with all of that, we know that right now the state of the nation, people are complaining about feeding. There was a time NEPA wanted to go on strike. ASU is on strike. There is food scarcity. I mean, I wouldn't say scarcity. I don't want to miss that out. So, how is access to livelihood, food security, and so many other things in this Nigeria of today?
For me, I think is the willingness on the part of the leadership. And I use the word leadership. I'm not using politics because leadership does not stop with politicians. They are not just the leaders in the country. Does the leader has the will to want to make livelihood easier for the people? And that's where the challenge really is. Some people seem that, look, I've got no business with that. Provided I'm good and I'm doing well, everybody else can take care of themselves. And I think that's a major problem we really have. Because if you look at all these parameters you've mentioned, for example, in the UK, the RMT is also, they go on strike, but what the government do is quickly intervene and make sure that they resolve the problem because the resultant effect on the general economy will not be palatable for the whole country. The same thing goes for Nigeria. If we look at Nigeria, how do we resolve issues? ASU has been on strike for over 6, 7 months now, and nothing has been done. And they have actually declared strike to increase the number of the strike now for another 6 months. And my take on this is that where's the government? What is the government doing about this? And what are the leadership of ASU actually doing about it? If they really care about the educational system as they claim to do, then they need to actually shift some of their negotiations and make sure that this is resolved as soon as possible. However, this is not the case. Everybody's just fighting for their own corner. And we need to actually shelve the sword in order to actually have peace in the country. The same thing goes with fuel. The same thing goes with everything that we have in the country. We need to come to a negotiating table and ensure that we resolve the issue. Those things that we are asking for, we might not be able to get them 100%, but we need to ensure that we come to an agreement so that we can make sure that the country does not collapse. It's as if majority of us don't care about what the country leads to. Currently, ASU is on strike. Petrol is going up high. It's the price of petrol now is now between 165 to 179. I guess the last time I checked, and there is strike here and there. The doctors too want to go on strike. A lot of doctors are leaving the country. They're actually migrating abroad to come and work. A lot of lecturers are also leaving Nigeria as well to come abroad to come and look for greener pastures. What is the effect of all this in Nigeria? The students has been home for about 6, 7 months now. We're complaining about the youths going into frauds and stuff like that. We're actually giving them the time, the opportunity to start looking at the options that they have. And this will be one of the options that they will have to look at. So I think that the livelihood is going to keep on deteriorating. Like I said earlier, the government is not seeing the priority in actually addressing all these things because they're busy with the election right now. They're busy with getting back into office and do their normal dealings that they normally use the resources of Nigeria for.
Mm. So there's, in other words, Nigerians should wait for it. There's more to come when it comes to the aspect of financial challenges, food,
There
and
is
rest.
more to come. It doesn't look as if we have an immediate solution. By now, we should see our leaders talking about strategy, how we are going to actually turn things around. Some of the priorities that were given by the IMF in terms of dealing with this is that countries should look at how they can control their inflation. We don't have any plan in Nigeria. We don't have a strategy on how we're going to address that. The insecurity as well. has actually led to people leaving their farms. They can't go in there to do cultural work in order to actually provide food for the country. The other things that are also happening is the costs of transportation due to the cost increase in the prices of fuel and other things. Food is also increased in terms of price, because if you see very few harvest coming to the market, what they want to do is increase the price because there's so many people who wants to buy. So all this is adding together. And in addition to all this, there's no increase in salary. People are not getting more wages. Businesses are not doing well. So things are looking so tough, and we are yet to see the worst. And it's unfortunate that I'm saying all this, but that's the situation on ground right now. And we need to face reality. The politicians, the leaders are busy with elections. They are busy with getting themselves back into office to be in control of the economy. And very few people are actually concerned about the livelihood or the situation of the common man on the street.
Thank you so much for that. Let's quickly go on this break and we will be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Let's Talk on DNC Work, and I've been speaking with Dr. Mohammad Dabiri, lead partner, Varsity Capital. And the topic, like we said, has been on the economic outlook of Nigeria, especially in today's Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir, for standing by, and it's nice having you here.
Thank you, Olijoke.
Now, Professor Pat Utomi said Nigerians should hold politicians accountable for the state of the nation, saying that people should pressure a forensic audit of every state government account and so on. Do you share the same school of thought, or what would you suggest?
I share Professor Pat Utomi's idea, and he's a very well-respected scholar and mentor to a lot of leaders in Nigeria. So, which is quite fantastic. And we appreciate his effort as well, because what he does is he doesn't just speak, he also does. And we see him working a lot. However, the question we need to ask ourselves is Nigeria a country in which we give accounts, in which we are accountable to the people? Yes, it's good that they are actually setting up an app that will actually assist the common man, utilizing the INEC voters list to actually get people to look at the manifesto and to question people who are vying for offices, to check to make sure that they have a good manifesto for their constituents or for the country at large. So, which is a good thing. And the fact that he actually wants to get them to be accountable. So it's not just they talking about when they were going to get into office, also when they are in office and when they finish in office, they can actually hold them accountable for some of the things that they said they were going to do. And some of the things they were meant to look at is look at job creation, look at agriculture, look at the economy, look at education, and look at security. So all these parameters are good parameters. So I quite agree with him. It's a step in the right direction. He has not just said it. They've set up these two organizations who have come together, or several who have come together to actually did the app. And I can't wait to see what the app looks like and how effective it's going to be. But I think there should be a call for that. That is not just the politician that needs to be accountable. When issues like this arise, we always look at the politicians first. Most of the time. But we forget that apart from the politicians, they are the civil servants that actually run the show, that actually guides the politicians on what to do. So Nigeria needs to become we need to have an accountable system. We always had that in the 70s, in the 80s, where there are institutions whereby you work and you do something that is too grievous within the system deals with you. But now things have changed. You can see that if you belong to that group whereby you are above the law, then nothing happens to you. So it would be nice for us to start moving in that direction. This is a step in the right direction, but I hope it works. That's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you were to advise the nation of Nigeria on how to actually make things work, how would you say that Nigeria should be revamped or worked upon? We know that there's a whole lot of things that has been done over time, and like they say, water has passed under the bridge. Some things, some people say it's irredeemable, but I want to believe that nothing is irredeemable. It might just take time.
I agree with you, Lijoke. It's nothing is irredeemable, but it starts with the mind. It starts with the way we see things. Currently, the problem we have in Nigeria is that everybody is by themselves. Everybody wants to survive by themselves. And when you talk about survival by yourself, if where you are is not working, you carry your bag, you go. That is the situation that we currently have. If we all agree that this is the only home we have as a country, Nigeria, then we will do everything we can do to make it comfortable for us, not for me, for us. So even if things are not working here, to start putting things in place to actually get the country to be better. And the first thing that I think we need to do is we need to change our mindset. We need to start changing our mindset. We should care for ourselves. That one is what is missing. And that is why you see, I'm sorry to say, to refer to this, that is why you see younger generation, they're the ones getting involved in killing people for rituals, because people don't care as a country anymore for themselves. We only care about ourselves. It should be me, me, me. That needs to change. That needs to change. And what that simply means is that if I'm happy and I'm comfortable and my neighbor is not, I should have that understanding that I'm still not safe, because my neighbor will become a threat to me as well. So as a result of that, if we provide an economy or a situation whereby majority of the people at least goes to bed with a 3 square meal and they have the basic necessity of life, then things will change. Things will change. Everybody will then feel safe. But unfortunately, that's not the situation. Majority of the people cannot even afford 2 square meals a day. They're struggling with that. Majority of the people cannot afford to even travel to work after being paid their monthly salary. That's pathetic. So why would they now go to that same workplace and not find a way to survive? So we start complaining. Why are they collecting bribe? We can't query that. The first thing we need to fix is to make sure they are comfortable, they can do their work without compromising their job. And to do that, we need to pay them a fair salary or a wage that would actually take care of their basic essential necessities of life. And until we get to that level, we'll be having challenges. The second, after changing the mindset, the next thing is that people should be held accountable. If I know I'm going to be in an office and I have a budget of 100 million naira, and somebody's going to ask me at the end of my tenure how I spent it, with evidence on how I spent it, of course I'm going to be careful what I do with it. But if I know that one godfather put me in the position, and the moment he put me there, if any money that comes in, I have to first drop 50% for him, and all the other people I have to, take care of along the chain, then the project that the fund is meant for can never be done. The next thing you see, EFCC is after the person, and the moment the EFCC is after, a couple of days later, we don't hear anything else about it. So these are the system we are currently running. So we need to, accountability is one of our issues. The mindset needs to change. And we claim to be a very religious society, but we're just practicing religious. We don't fear God in the true sense of it. Because most of the people that are actually committing most of these offenses or these criminal offenses, we don't see it as offense anymore anyway. We see it as just the system. And until we start reversing all these things, we'll be having problems. So in a nutshell, because of time, I'm sure I've been able to tell you some of my views about these issues.
Thank you so much for that. Any final word?
The final word, my takeaway is that we need to start looking inwards. Nigeria is a very rich country. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of intelligent minds that can put things together. We only need to look at the way we channel our energy. We should look at the way we should care more about ourselves as a country. Nigeria is an entity that brings us all together. So if we don't love ourselves as individuals and we want to say we love Nigeria, then we don't love the country. So we need to start by loving ourselves, by seeing ourselves as a team that we need to work together. And we need to actually try to convince ourselves that, look, whatever you accrue together now as an individual, you're not going to take it anywhere. You're going to leave it here. Somebody else is going to take it away from you. A lot of people steal things and they never actually use it positively. So my takeaway is that let's review all these mindsets and start addressing things in such a way that we leave a good legacy behind for humanity, such that they will remember us for good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And to you all there, thank you too for being part of the show. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media platforms. And please, like he said, we are a team. Nigeria is a team, and we need to work together to make things work. We are one body. We are together. United we stand, divided we fall. So I believe Nigeria can be redeemed, and it will be redeemed. Until next time, when I come your way again with another topic, I remain with your Bye for now.